In this week's top tips, we look at preparation for the second round. Now we're going to focus specifically on 2 cages, and these are both cages with young in the nest. Now many people will say, when do you reintroduce the cock? And it's a real challenge. There are no fixed and firm dates, and that's the first point to make. The second point to make is study your birds. Keep an eye on them, understand their characters. So with these birds here, with this hen, she's already started to build up. Now I'm putting little bits of nesting material in each day because I don't want to foul the whole bottom of the nest, for the simple reason that those young that are in there will come out quite quickly, and I don't really want them picking nesting material up. What I have to make sure, however, and it's an important tip, is that there is a plentiful daily supply on this until she's finished building the nest, which will normally be just before she starts to lay. And the reason for that is, if not, with little fluffy chicks in the nest, they'll become the nesting material. So the hen will pluck the chicks, and you'll find, particularly if they take flight or tail feathers, that can ruin the showbird opportunity later in the season. So I'm going to pop some of this in quickly, and then we'll run the cock into here. So with the Fife Canaries, we've got the hens singled off, and with that it's important that you've got different nest pans to use. You'll notice that the first round are always the white plastic pans, and they're fitted with screws to the back of the cage, and they're just hooked on in place. When it comes to the second round, when we've got chicks in the nest, mostly, not always, but mostly we'll use a front hanging pan. Now we can't use the one that goes on the door because that would stop the cock going in to mate. So we've got 2 alternatives. We've got a clay pan, which is the one I'm going to use now, and a plastic pan, which is one that we've already got in use. So I'm going to pop this pan in now, and we'll take a little look at the different pans that we use here in the canary room. So when we've already got young in the nest, that's how we prepare for the second round. So to recap, it's all about the temperament of the cockbird. It's about the stages and the development of the young. It's not about fixed days. So, you know, in some nests where there's a really good feeder, I will run a cock in from 12 or 13 days. If I know that pretty much can guarantee that she'll continue to feed, where I'm less sure or the cock's a little bit aggressive, I'll leave it later and later and later. What's really important is that you get the chicks that you've got rather than try for more. So I'm going to pop a couple more pans in now. Now these are hens that have had their young moved away, so they're almost like first round pans, and then we'll finish off the top tips by showing how we work when there's pairs together. When we're running pairs together in the canary room, our approach is slightly different. Very, very easy. Very, very easy with pairs. You can see we've got a pair of reds behind me here. The hen is on young. We simply put a second pan to the other side of the cage. It can be an internal pan, no problem with that at all. We'll put that in at around about 16, 17 days. The cock will take on the feeding. One of the things that you need to look for in this scenario though is the hen rebuilding into the nest, and that's one of the challenges that you've got, and that's why you've got to keep an eye and be really, really observant of your birds all of the time. They don't work to day rules, they work to their instincts and their natural instincts. So one of my other top tips is just to keep that eye. You don't want to have them building up in the same nest pan. It won't be clean, it won't be hygienic, and then you've got to build a nest for them and all of those things. So get a second pan in when you're running pairs together. Get a second pan in around about 2 weeks after the chicks have hatched, assuming that both parents are feeding them. As I say, the cock will continue to feed if he's a good cock bird. And those are this week's top tips. So that was our quick YouTube video on how to prepare for the second round. If you've liked it, give us a thumbs up, share the video, Pop your comments below, we do answer them and we really appreciate you getting in touch with us. You can follow the Canary Room on Facebook, on Twitter and on Instagram. And you can subscribe to the main show at www.thecanaryroom.tv. Thanks for watching.